G'day YouTube, welcome back to Tastuned. I'm just in the shed doing a bit of work today on the steering for the Minirod. So the steering box we used is out of a comma van, and I've also got a Morris van which I had a manual for, and it looks like they're a very similar thing, probably almost the same. So I'm just going to have a look through that and then check out the steering box itself. So that's the steering box there. It used to have a really long shaft up here, but we shortened it. And I'm just finding that it's just got some really tight spots in it. So there's a bit of adjustment here. It's a filler cap thing there, but I'm just going to pull it apart, have a look, just see if there's any burrs or anything I can clean up. Yeah, just get that all smooth, then that can be bolted back in, the front end can be put on, and be that little step closer to driving it again. So, here goes. Oh. That doesn't look fantastic. So this thing here, hang on, let's have a better look at that. I don't think that's meant to look like that. So, that might be a little bit of an issue. I think that might sit in there and sort of slide around like that potentially. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have a look inside, see what we can figure out. So I think I figured out what happened. When we had this apart, we had that cut and shortened it, and this might have lifted up a bit. So it looks like this bearing, if you call it a bearing, I'm not sure what you call it, might have gone on there. And it's popped out and got sort of twisted, and it runs in that bit there. So it was out of there and allowing this to sort of move up and down. So I might just have to try and straighten this. I've got the balls in the oil there. Try and straighten this and seat it back down the bottom. That might solve our issues. So I've discovered what's wrong with this steering box. So yeah, that little bearing there had completely come out. I think before we'd shortened it. So this one goes in there and sits in there like that. And so there's still just a tiny gap there, it can't quite come down far enough. So I'm just going to make some, I've got some thick gasket paper there, I'm going to make a couple of thick paper gaskets, stack them on top of each other. That should be enough, and then it's like, that's so much smoother to turn than it was. So once that's right, then I'll put this one back in, adjust that little gear in there. So this bit, that bit there, it's got the spline on it, and it's got this little bit there, which sits in these bits here. So that'll slide through in there. And then that moves up and down like that when you turn the steering, which turns the shaft on the end. So we'll get this one sorted first. Oh, I might nearly stuff that then. That very nearly fell out. So I'll get those gaskets made, bolt that in, and then that's right. Put it back together and we'll have a nice smooth steering. Alright, so this is much better. So that spins around, it's now got the bearing in the bottom. So then this shaft will slide in here. And then as you turn, it moves that like that. So I'll just gasket seal this up, put this fella back on there. It's got a little adjustment thing which puts pressure on this, in or out, to get it right. Back on and we'll be sweet. Much smoother. We can play around with this. Very good. Fill her up with a bit of oil. That can go back in. So there we go, that's where the steering box fits. Nice and compact. Sticks out the side like that. Grab that, it's got one large bit on the spline, which holds it in position. There we go. That little steering wheel should still give us a little bit of room for the gear train. It can adjust up and down as well. We'll get it up as high as it can. So yeah, cockpit's taking shape.